want to reduce burnout at the workplace, you should give more. I know, this statement sounds contradictory. You're probably wondering, how am I going to reduce burnout by working harder and longer? That was my initial thought when I encountered this idea while reading the Give and Take book authored by Adam Grant. In his book, Grant presents the story of Conray Callahan. Conray joined the renowned nonprofit organization Teachers for America because, as she stated, I set out to make a difference, improving education and opportunities for low-income communities. Her first teaching assignment was at Overbrook High School. Overbrook's alumni include actor Will Smith, basketball player Will Chamberlain, and astronaut Guillaume Blufford. But unfortunately, not all students shared the same success. In 2006, Overbrook was one of 28 schools in the United States identified as persistently dangerous. According to Grant, nearly half of the students will never graduate, as the graduation rate is only 54%. Conray's dreams of making a difference were quickly shattered. Teaching in one of the most disadvantaged schools in the United States of America was no easy job, as she spent her days waking up early to teach, staying up late grading, and battling crime. Conray was acting as a selfless giver and suffered from burnout as a result. Conray managed to reduce burnout, but before I explain how she did it, I would like to discuss the three main reciprocity styles. According to Grant, these are giving, taking, and matching. Givers prefer to give more than what they get in return. At the opposite side of the spectrum, you will find the takers. Takers put their own interests ahead of others' needs. They tend to be self-focused and expect to get more than what they give. In the middle of the reciprocity style spectrum, you will find the matchers. Matchers strive to preserve an equal balance between giving and getting. Grant argues that most people fall into the matcher reciprocity style. After studying the three reciprocity styles, I asked myself, why do some givers burn out but others excel? The answer was simple. Successful givers do not focus on others to the detriment of their own needs. They find a balance between self-interest and caring for others. This is known as the otherish giver approach. Going back to Conray Callahan, she reduced burnout by changing her giving style. Once a selfless giver, Conray began working as an otherish giver. With the help of a pro bono law firm and a pro bono accountant, she created a Minds Matter chapter in Philadelphia. Minds Matter is a national nonprofit organization that helps high-achieving low-income students to prepare for college. Even though she was now working an additional 10 hours a week, Conray was able to renew her energy and reduce burnout. She was no longer working for the sole benefit of others. Adam Grant found that givers who burn out, like Conray, were not seeing the full impact of their work. In a study conducted at a university scholarship fundraising call center, Grant found that the takers were outracing the givers. He was surprised to see that one of the employees who was a giver had a poster on his desk that said, "Doing a good job here is like wetting your pants in a dark suit. You get a warm feeling, but no one else notices." This made sense after he found that the college never met the scholarship recipients and thus could never appreciate how their work was making a difference. As a result, Grant suggested that the college should meet the scholarship recipients, and the outcome was remarkable. Once the college saw the impact of their work, they worked harder and alumni donations increased by 144%. While all employees had a motivation increase by meeting the scholarship recipients, givers significantly improved the gains in effort and revenue. Another way to avoid burnout is by building strong networks. The How to Build Your Network article states that networks deliver three unique advantages: access to private information, access to diverse skill sets, and power. By having access to diverse skill sets, Conray was able to connect with a pro bono law firm and a pro bono accountant, both of whom were needed to found the Minds Matter chapter in Philadelphia. Similarly, Heidi Roizen used a mixture of otherish, giving, and networking to overcome a burnout situation. The Heidi Roizen case explains how she left Apple only a few months after working in the company to pursue a role she named Mentor Capitalist. This is meant to be a play on words because Heidi used to be a venture capitalist prior to working in Apple. As a mentor capitalist, Roizen used her power, strategic planning, and access to people with diverse skill sets to help startups through their first stages. So, if you're feeling burnout, my four main suggestions are to give more, but there's a caveat. The giving must be otherish. Selfless givers have the biggest burnout rates. Number 2, look out for giving opportunities in which you clearly see the positive impact of your work on other people. 3, identify brokers in your network. As stated by Uzi and Dunlap, these are people who connect distinct groups of people. And lastly, to build your network, establish relationships with information brokers who aren't in positions of power. This will give you a network that is rich in social capital.